Oh, yeah. Baby. Hey, bundle baby. We should make a baby. Just kidding. You want one of those? You will. Hey, Katie Boo. You don't have to worry about that. You're too damn old to have a baby. You dusty old wench. But you look good for a dusty old wench. You don't look like a dusty old wench. You're just functionally a dusty old wench. But I shouldn't do shit like that. I shouldn't dangle that piece of cheese in front of you. Because you're like, oh, 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 oh. Well, you didn't fuck around and waste all this time. I mean, you're a pretty girl. Why the fuck are you single? Were you ever married? Like, officially married? You know? I mean, what's your, body count? You know, how many different dicks have you had up in you? You know what I mean? So, I don't know what type of girl you are, you know. Like I said, I'm just going to repeat myself. Is it you? Is it them? Is it both of you? You have anxiety. You live in the city, you know, so... if douche lickings is any indicator of the type of boys that are wandering around that city, it's hard to find a good boy. A good, grounded, down-to-earth, not spurred out wonder boy in the city of Chicago. And you could really use one of those in your life. You really could. I mean, a lot of chicks could, Most chicks could. But it's hard to find a good wonder boy. 'Cause most of them are just, dumb shits. 12-year-olds and an adult baldy. They get by because they have to, they have to make ends meet, that's how most people are. Most people are 12. Like, that's how they internalize the world. They really are. And I'm not going to, get into that. And some people are worse. Some people are 7, like these videos that you see of people spurging out, like at McDonald's, where they got the wrong sauce packet. And some people even take it to, like, murder, you know what I mean? Everything has a flip side, and humanity, it's like... You like art, you like poetry, you like cuisine, you like music, you like culture, you like society, you like love, the family structure. Well, the flip side of that is, you also have people losing their fucking shit. Like I said, they're not actually getting in a fight over the donut, or the roll of toilet paper. It's ego. That's just what sparks it off. It's like, you ought to be embarrassed, but at that point, you may have slept their grandmother. You have personally, attacked, their fifis, their ego. Doesn't matter what started it. It could be over, like I said, a donut, toilet paper. I say that because I remember that was a story way back when I was a kid. People got in, like, a fight at, like, Krispy Kreme, and it's like, it's not the donut. That's just what kicks it off. What kicks it off could be anything. Like I said, it could be the last roll of toilet paper, or you may have kicked their dog or slept their grandma. It just doesn't matter at that point. It's the person. So if you're dealing with a lowlife, who's, not a 12-year-old in an adult body, male or female, when the chips are down, but you're dealing with a 7-year-old. Like, literally, like, shit, man. I've seen it, like people throwing shit, and people recording them, and just like a small petulant child, just exactly. So, because we've all done it. When you're a kid, 5, 6, 7 years old, you've got mad and you've thrown something, And if you've got a pussy for a parent, Like me back, even my mom, she would, like, I wasn't like a problematic child, but I kind of had my moments here and there. It's like, you knock that off. So there was punishments, and I had to go to my room. I remember my dad, like, he would lift me up, like, by my arm, not quite off the ground, but like enough where I was like, whoa, 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 like walking on my tippy toes, and he'd walk me over and be like, blah, 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 because I threw a car, like, through the wall. Damn this Herculean strength. So, and I'd have to, help him fix it. I don't know if that actually happened, but it seems like, whatever. Anyway, so I'm pretty fortunate, I'm not saying I wouldn't, recognize that anyway, because I've talked about that before, about like discipline and how you got to do it, Sometimes you got to be the bad cop, and then later, you don't apologize, like, I didn't mean to raise my voice, but you can't do that. You maintain your ground, but you let them know why, but it has to come in steps. At first, you're the bad cop. Like I said, don't do anything like abusive or anything, but like I said, you might have to, and it doesn't matter what age they are, you know what I mean? And it's different, like, obviously you're not gonna pick somebody up a little bit, with their arm if they're 16 years old, but you're gonna have to be firm, and you're gonna have to say, yes, you are either gonna do this, that, or the other, and you have to stand your ground. You might have to kick, if the kid is really rebellion, you might have to kick him out of the fucking house. So, but tell them why. Say, and like, you think I'm doing this because I'm trying to be a hard ass. I'm doing this because I'm trying to, show you that there's consequences in life. It's my job, as a parent, to make sure that you're a functioning individual in society. You don't have to be a millionaire or, Mr. Awesome. You just need to not be a shitbag. So, and I remember my dad used to say that, it's like, the path you're going down, you're going to end up in jail. And he said jail, but, jail is jail. Prison is different. County jail, oh, you're a rebel. Ooh, you got creds. You're a bad boy. Ooh. Sure, you can date my daughter, Oh, you've been to jail? Yeah, I did, 3 months in jail too, for whatever. That's all right. Hey, that just means you're kind of got an edge to you. Well, want a beer? Whatever. Jail ain't shit. County jail and federal prison. Ooh. But anyway, my best friend at the time, one time he went to jail for something, I don't even remember, and I had to put up some bail for him. His dad put up half and I put up half. What the fuck? This motherfucker, I swear, he walked out, literally. I mean, I've been accused of having swagger too, I guess I can't talk. This guy, he was a showboat, dude. Leather jacket. And I actually said that. He walked out, he's walking down the little thing. It's me, his dad, and his little brother. That's why I became not friends with him. It's just over time, I realized, it's like, man, I'm going to be caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. This guy's going to get into trouble with people, and I'm just going to be here. And they're not going to care. You're like, well, fuck, I had nothing to do with this. But, and he wasn't like a bad guy, and I didn't grow up in a rough neighborhood or anything, but, he would get into petty, stupid shit. He had some mental issues. He really did. So does his dad. Let's just say I found out later that his dad had cameras in his house. Yeah. So, fucked up shit, bro. But, because I always wondered, like when I was younger, I'm like, how the fuck did he know I was down here ripping pages out of his Playboy collection? That motherfucker. Because he was married, and he had his 2 kids with that woman, and she had a little daughter from her previous marriage, and she would teach dance class in the basement. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And the bathroom, there was a camera in there, straight up. You could see it, the little cutout, 2-way mirror, and the shower curtain was clear. So it wasn't when I lived there, but it's like the old setup was still there. So, yeah, not an all-American. He was on the force. He was a police officer, and he got in trouble, but they didn't kick him off the force. He was downgraded to, I don't know what he did. He was a probation officer, but I guess he didn't want to give up the government, I don't know, pension or something. But basically, he fucked up. He was a dog. He would get it 2 o'clock in the morning. He would pick fights, with his oldest son. Kicked him out a few times. Blah blah blah. Cops showed up to arrest him. That was probably bullshit. That was probably just the chick he was fucking, basically. Weaponized that. But yeah, and that chick had 3 daughters? 2 daughters? So anyway. Drama. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, so it's us, and he's walking out, and he's got this leather jacket, and he's literally his shoulders are I mean, I don't see. My aunt told me one time, she's all, you look like a gorilla who's gonna walk up and punch you. So okay. So Google gorilla walking up to punch something. And one time with this job that I'm working, the dude was like, good evening, gentlemen. And Froggy, he doesn't work there no more. I kind of had a mutual respect for him. Kind of a little wiry guy, but he talked like this. And he's all, where? And the guy's all, there and there. He said, you better use that term loosely, especially when you see him walk. And I almost said, what are you talking about? Because like I said, I'm not I kind of had a respect for this guy, but I'm not what are you talking about? But anyway, I just sort of, and like I said, others, I was like, you piece of dog shit, I just totally, fuck you. But there's only I guess, 3 people in that shop, and of course everybody fucking remembers me. But, so, one guy, I talked to him on the phone, he's all, how'd you know it was me? He's all, it popped up on the thing, it said, super dude, Mr. Wonderful, awesome boy. I said, oh, okay, that makes sense. But, plus your picture pops up. They take a picture of you with your truck. I'm assuming when you say this is such and such truck 123, it pops up. Because I heard him, I'm all, this is Mr. Awesome in truck 123. And, he it types it in. And I kind of heard him in the background. He's all, oh. So I was like, yeah. But, there's these little things that you catch. So anyway, yeah, I didn't see him walk. And in rehab too, there was like that song, "Ain't Nobody Got Swagger Like Us, Swagger Like Us, Swagger Like Us," and that was like kind of in the beginning where I showed up like, "Fuck y'all motherfuckers, I ain't no, pissant, alcoholic, addict, drug motherfucker," because there was people in there for everything: alcohol, drugs, weed, all that stuff. "I ain't like you pieces of shit. I just drink too much," which I wasn't actually like that. I wasn't like, "I'm better than y'all," But whatever. But they cranked that up really loud, and it's like I could kind of hear him say something like, "Ah." But then, like I said, afterwards, all the chicks wanted to have sex with me, and the dudes are like, "Okay, it's whatever." The one guy's wife was there when I called everybody out. I'm don't worry, I'm not gonna repeat myself, all that shit, but there was a dude who was fucking around there. They were roommates. I had my own room. And I'm all, whatever I said, "You two jokers need to fuck off." And the tech guy, he actually like kind of yelled. He's all, "Hey, I'm running the show." And I just like, I know, I knew I'd get in trouble for it. And then afterwards, he's like, "You can't do that." And he was cool about it. And he was like an outside guy that would come in and talk, former street guy. And, I was like, I know, I didn't mean to be disrespectful. I just, you know how it is, these two shitheads. I just wanted to, take the opportunity to call them both out in front of everybody. And I've stated my piece. I'm done. So, and that was it. But anyway, it was like visiting time, and his wife was there, and she was just like in the background. I swear she was just looking at me the whole damn time. I'm such a sexy bitch. And when I put it down, I put it down. I mean, it's like something out of a movie. So, anyway. But yeah, this Yahoo, my best friend, walks out, leather jacket, shoulders literally like swaying back and forth, like 4 inches to either side, just, "You can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a ladies' man. Yes, I am." And when he first walked out, he like spit, which is like a sign of like, I believe he did it probably subconsciously. That's a sign of like, what's the word? Not discontent, but like rebellion. He just walked out of jail with swagger, leather jacket. First thing he does is, kind of spits it, off to the side, That's a sign of like, fuck this place, shit. Did you have something in your mouth? I don't think so either. He did that on purpose. Who he did it for, I don't know. Anybody who was looking, I guess. But anyway, oh sweet, sweet Katie Bear. What kind of underwear are you sporting today? You walk around in the house just like in a crop top and your underwear? You wear like cute little panties, or you wear a thongy thong, or anyway. Like either in just your socks or whatever, just chilling. So there's Cindy Bear just looking at you. Does she like follow you around, or does she just like sit, on a piece of furniture and just observe? I know she's kind of a younger dog. She's like 2 to 3 years old, something like that. But she's also one of them like calm, house dogs, So, like I said, my mom's Frenchies, once they calm down, they won't like follow you. But if you sit down, if you want to take a load off, them fuckers, all three of them, just on your lap. And Arlo is the like possessive one, He'll push the other ones out of the way, because he wants to be pet. And it's endearing, right? I mean, they're pets, they're dogs, but it's also a pain in the ass. It's like, man, I'd love to be able to just sit down, on like this spring-loaded rocking chair on the porch. But I know Arlo's goofy ass is gonna launch into my lap, doy, pet me, and just anyway, such problems. 21 minutes in, that baby video, the one where the dog, I think it was the one where it was like rocking, you could see they had 3 pictures in the background of their wedding. That's some gay shit. Your wedding is just your wedding. Now it's lifetime. It's family time. So to put that moment, that celebration on blast, and that was probably the chick's idea. And this is me talking. I'm not regurgitating something that like Mr. Longhead said or anything. In my opinion, now maybe it's temporary, right? But just the fact that it's up at all, when you're first married, in my opinion, which is stating something. Let's say that again for the cheap seats. In my opinion, yeah. Are we listening? And I mean that humbly. I'm trying to be funny. But I'm not really that arrogant. I'm my own biggest critic. But when you're first married, and this is a big if, as a dude, you shouldn't give a fuck. There should be no wedding pictures. I mean, yes, wedding pictures like in an album. An album! Actual picture form. Don't be a fuck boy. Be an old school boy. She's going to want to put it in E form. You say, okay, that's fine, babe, hun. But you just go ahead and put it in album form. So, and if she protests, you're like, why would you do that? Well, get ready for that to be amplified down the road as she gets more and more comfortable with your presence and finds more things to be discontent about. Be it big things or whether or not you put the whites with the darks in the laundry, which is, I am regurgitating that. I've heard that said. Whatever. Death by 1,000 cuts or whatever. Be ready for that. Because it's only going to amplify. Unless you kind of, retrain her brain. So, but to have an actual picture, if she insists, of you two, you in your penguin suit, and her in her, white gown, that's fine in the beginning, but after a while, that's got to come down, because that's just a moment in time. I mean, yes, I get it. You know what I'm trying to say, right? It's like if you put that much weight into that, I mean, I get it, right? But I just find it weird. That's just my opinion. I see that as a warning, that the relationship is probably going to fail, the marriage. So, and they had 3 of them. So, and I can't even, I guess that's the best I can do is just the fact that you put so much weight on a ceremony that lasts a few hours. I mean, I get it. Anyway. Fucking fags. Fuck your wedding, you know what I mean? Oh, you're a newlywed. Would have never guessed. Well, I mean, it depends. Whatever. That's just me. I'm kind of old school. Well, never mind. Plus, don't weddings cost like $10,000 or something? You know what I mean? I get it, especially for chicks, because everything paints a picture, right? Everything tells a story. I'm not saying you should skip the wedding, but just, and again, this is me talking. I'm not regurgitating this, but just, what do you spend your money on? What's important to you? How do you dress? Fuck. No, Mr. Longhead just the other day, he did kind of say that. What do you give a fuck about or something? So I guess whatever. But anyway, I mean, great minds think like mine. There's nothing wrong with agreeing with someone or stuff like that. But yeah, what's important to you? So yeah, Mr. Longhead did touch upon that in his latest video. Just watch how a person acts. And anyway, at this point, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. So if the white wedding was, a really, really big deal to you, or a really, really big deal to her, it should be a pleasant moment in time. Like I said, at least for like maybe the first year. Maybe you have a picture somewhere, not on the wall, but like somewhere on some little table, no bigger than like 4x6, just a little, hey, this is our wedding day. If even that. But to have, a 6 by fucking 3 foot picture, 3 of them in a row, it's like, shit, dog, this bitch is shallow. You see where I'm going with this? It's just like, so you two are newlyweds, huh? Well, good luck with that. Why, you got a little baby? Well, you think that matters? You in it to win it? Is you? Because I don't think you are. I think you're a putz, and I think she's a bitch. But hey, good luck with that. Let me know in 7 to 10 years how things are going. The fact, like I said, the fact that somebody decided to put 3 big damn wedding pictures on the wall, we're letting the world know how this is a big deal to us. It's going to fall apart. That's like the equivalent of, just whatever. Best of luck. Fuck your wedding.